Welcome to You Can Be Healed with Connie. Today I want to talk about how to overcome the fear of uncertainty. Many of my clients and my social media followers reach out to me asking me how to deal with the fear of uncertainty in life, especially when they have a big decision to make, whether it's quitting their job, starting their own business, moving to other city or country, dealing with a relationship, or when things are out of control. When you have to make such decisions, the fear of uncertainty arises, and you may start to feel anxious and worried. If you are currently in the crossroad of your life, feeling overwhelmed by uncertainty and worry, it's important to know that you are not alone, and there are ways you can take and face the unknown with more confidence. I will share 3 useful tips on how to cope with the fear that arises from uncertainty, and what should you do when everything feels out of control. Before I jump into the topic, if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. This is Connie. I am a certified emotional healer and a limiting beliefs and miracle mindset coach. I post videos weekly focused on the topics about personal growth, emotional health, overcoming limiting beliefs, and developing a miracle mindset so you can achieve more success, freedom, and fulfillment in your professional and personal life. So please subscribe to my channel to show me some support and get notified on my weekly episodes. Now, let's get started. We human beings crave information about the future, and our brains are essentially hardwired to react with fear to uncertainty, and it always tries to protect us by diminishing our ability to focus on anything other than creating certainty. We like the feeling of knowing what's around the corner so we can take active, helpful steps to prepare for it. And this is exactly why many of us struggle, because life is unpredictable, and the only thing certain in life is uncertainty. One of the things that I've always seen my clients suffer the most is they constantly wanting to control or trying to control the outcome and the future. That creates a lot of suffering, anxiety, and worry. The more you try to control and make sure everything is certain, the more anxious you are going to get. Nothing stays the same forever. There is always gonna be fear of uncertainty in life. The point isn't to get rid of that fear. The point is to become comfortable with it and to recognize that the fear of uncertainty is natural, so you can move past it quicker and not to get frozen in that fear. Buddhism teaches that all things are impermanent. This means that all things are continually changing, and this implies all things are going to be uncertain because they are always changing. The only constant in life is that it will involve change. And what I've learned in my life is, as much as you may want to control the future, sometimes all you can do is trust that whatever happens, it happens for a reason. So, how can we best cope when everything feels so out of control? Here are 3 tips. First, don't believe everything you think. In uncertain times, it's particularly important not to believe your thoughts that argue for the worst case scenario. Yes, it seems helpful for us to consider worst case scenario so that we can reduce the risk and actively prevent disaster. But when you believe these stressful thoughts, you tend to react emotionally as the worst case is already happening in real life rather than just in your heads. Imagine that how many times we react to events that are not actually happening. This makes us feel threatened, afraid, and anxious when we keep dwelling into that kind of thoughts. When we expect the worst, we often feel too afraid or close-minded to seize opportunities or respond to challenges with creativities. Instead of buying into every stress thought, we can actively imagine the best possible scenario. We can find the silver linings to replace ruminations. This counters our natural tendency to overestimate risk and negative consequences. To best cope with uncertainty, we also need to stop complaining and focus on the outcomes we desire and creating the life we want. I have an episode talking about how to stop expecting the worst. I will put the link in the description below and please listen to it. Second, focus on the present. The opposite of uncertainty is not certainty, it's presence. Uncertainty is often centered on worries about the future and all the bad things you can anticipate happening. It can leave you feeling anxious and depressed about the days ahead, and you magnify the scope of the problems you face, and it even paralyzes you from taking action to overcome a problem. One of the ways to avoid worrying about the future is to focus on the present. Instead of trying to predict what might happen, you can learn to purposely switch your attention to what is happening right now. Focus on your breath is one of the best ways to immediately bring your mind to the present. Initially, you may find that your focus keeps wandering back to your future fears and worries, but keep at it, because each time when you focus your attention back on the present, you are training a new mental habit that can help you break free of uncertainty. Another thing I want you to remember is 90% of what you fear will happen never really come into reality. Even if they happened, most of the time it's not as painful or bad as you expected. If you remind yourself of how little of what you fear throughout your life that has actually happened, you can start to release more and more of that worry from your thoughts. Look for evidence and ask yourself, when was the last time you had experienced the fear of uncertainty, and then what happened? Chances are it may never happen, or it's never as bad as you think. Instead of imagine a scary and unknown future, practice to bring your attention to the present moment. From there, you can check in with yourself. And when it feels like everything is out of your control, you can still control what you pay attention to. Remember that you can control your thoughts. You can choose to think negative, or you can choose to think positive. You always have choice. Don't let your mind fool you. The only thing we have any control is the present. By focusing on what can be done and doing it right now, we are doing the best we can, and that is all the more we can do. And by living in the present, we can put what we learn to good use and execute our plans. Third, practice acceptance. Shifting to an acceptance mindset allows us to show up wholly with our attention grounded in the present. When it comes to fear of uncertainty, try not to judge the fear of uncertainty. Just observe it. Don't over-identify with the emotions that you experience. Remember, you are not your emotions. When circumstances are out of your control, it's easy to become overwhelmed by fear and negative emotions. Allow yourself to feel your emotions or write down how you feel. Instead of focusing on gaining control over the uncontrollable, let yourself experience the discomfort of uncertainty. Like all emotions, if you allow yourself to feel fear and uncertainty, they will eventually pass. If you try to deny or suppress your emotions, you will only increase the level of stress and anxiety. Another way is bring awareness to your own thought patterns. Ask yourself questions like, honestly, am I overcomplicating this? And what is the simplest and most straightforward solution to my problem that I may be avoiding to protect myself from pain? The uncertainty can stress you out when you're trying too hard to protect yourself from anything that might go wrong. I believe you've overcome stressful events in the past and you survive. Give yourself credit. Reflect on what you did during that event that was helpful and do the same again this time. We never know what's going to come tomorrow, but when it gets here, you will respond to it, learn from it, and move into another tomorrow full of endless possibilities. Try to sit silently and evaluate your own life. Think of the moments of joy and victory in your life, and think of the moments of sorrow and defeat. Are they permanent? They all come and pass away. Life just passes away. There is nothing permanent in this world. Everything changes except the law of change. Think over it from your own experience and perspective. You have seen all the changes. You have survived all the setbacks, all defeats, and all sorrows. All have passed away. The problems you have now, they too will pass, because nothing remains forever. You are just a witness of change. Experience it, understand it, accept it, and enjoy the present moment. These too shall pass. I want to end this episode with a mantra for you to use every time when you are feeling fear of uncertainty. You can say something like, over and over again, I choose courage over fear. I choose trust over worry. And I know things are always working out for me. All is well. You can repeat them as many times as you want, and they will calm your mind. I choose courage over fear. I choose trust over worry. I know things are always working out for me. All is well in my life. I hope this episode inspires you. Thank you so much for listening wherever you are. Remember to subscribe to my channel to show me some support, and I'm looking forward to see you in my next episode.